Man, so before we get started, I just want to say I'm having such a good time filming all these videos, getting into the shop build and the entire process, showing you how I'm doing everything because it's very similar to what I've always done with all of the automotive stuff. I like to explain to you what I'm going to do, show you the process, and then talk a little bit about it throughout and a little bit after. I've been having a good time doing that with the shop, but man, I'm really itching to get back into cars. So what you're going to see in today's videos, we are going to start off with framing out the walls, lifting up the walls, and then doing the work for the roof. We're gonna run all of our joists, then put the metal on the roof, closing all the sides, and let's just get right into it, and then I'll talk a little bit more about it along the way. So the way that I'm looking at the construction of this shop is it's a process, and you got to do certain things in certain orders, just like when you're building a car. You know, you got to run your brake lines before the motor goes in, because by the time the motor's in, the brake lines aren't going to be able to go in because the motor's going to be in the way. And this is very similar, and that's the way that I'm looking at it. So the first thing that we put up was that side wall. It's kind of confusing whether it's the side wall or the back wall. It's going to be the right wall of the shop, but it's the wall that the roof is landing on. So that wall had to go up first, so that way we can run our rafters to land on top of that wall. And one thing that I wanted to mention, one thing that's really neat that I think you would appreciate, as I'm framing everything out, I'm trying to think of functionality for the shop moving forward. If you can see that big rectangular area, that's where my fans are gonna go that I've always used in my other shop, except those fans are now gonna be built into the walls, and it's gonna be finished off on the outside, and we're gonna have a little flip door for it. So the fans will always be there, but when I want to use them, I'll just flip up the siding of the shop, and they're there, they're ready to go, and I don't got to drag them out. And that's something that I thought you'd appreciate. Let's just keep working. So after we got all the rafters up, the next thing is to put up those roof panels, and man, the sun is right in my face, but you gotta love it. So now that the roof panels are up, we can finally start to work in the shade. I'm sure you saw a couple clips ago, I actually had a tarp up top just to give us a little bit more coverage. So now that the walls are framed in, the roof is up, and everything's complete with that, we're gonna start to focus on enclosing the walls. This is going to be done in a couple of different layers, and the way that I'm figuring these layers is what's logically gonna work for me as far as with what I'm doing with my time and my budget. So the first thing that we're gonna do is a layer of OBS. Now you might know that as particle board. There's a couple of different names for it, and that's just going to be the first layer to start skinning everything out, enclosing everything. And also, if you've noticed, we did all of the studs and then we cut out 4 windows just to make sure. We didn't want to slow ourselves down worrying about the windows. We figured let's get everything up and then we'll figure out where those windows are going to be. We're going to be wrapping the entire thing with Tyvek. That's just a little water barrier to try to keep all the moisture out from the inside of the shop, which is really different from my last shop. My last shop, when it would start raining, I would get flooded out. So we're making improvements here along the way. We're trying to make it a little bit better. Now that Tyvek, we wrapped it out upside down, but it doesn't matter. Just a little OCD thing that I noticed. Alright man, so you can see we are moving right along. Now the inside, that's just exposed studs from the inside. We're gonna go ahead, come in real quick, let me call you right back. That was Josh, a cop with a swap. So anyways, what I was saying is the inside right now is just, you can see those exposed studs. Now what I want to do is completely skin that out on the inside. I don't think that I'm going to do insulation just because I have that plain metal roof, and with how low everything is, it just doesn't make sense. I'm not too worried about all this stuff. And another thing that I wanted to mention, if you notice the height is definitely one thing that a lot of people are gonna notice, how low the roof line of the shop is. But that's because I'm at the mercy of having to build off of something that was already existing, and that's why I flipped the roof in video 1 to just give us a little bit more height, a little bit more overhead. Now the lowest point of the shop is easily over my head. I'm not gonna be worried about hitting my head, but it's because of the city that I'm in, and I have to maintain a certain pitch of the roof. But the whole idea of this shop is just give me something that I can continue to do what I love in a space that's my own, and then I can work on stuff every day and continue to put out content that I really enjoy making and show you everything along the way. That's the main goal over here. So coming up in the next video, I'm really looking forward to that video being a video to kind of tie everything together. We're gonna worry about fit and finish. So the plan is I'm gonna put a whole bunch of vertical trim on that, and then a couple pieces, maybe one horizontal, a little bit fatter. We'll see all of that in the next video, and that next video is gonna be where everything comes together. That's what I'm looking forward to, and I'm really looking forward to all of this being behind us because I cannot wait to get back in the garage. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really glad to get back into it, uploading a little bit more often, and with the shop being in my backyard, that is the plan from here. So I will see you guys on the next one. like this video, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. I'm out.
Again, it's a rich thing.